Alright guys, I'm making this video because I posted on my Instagram about making a launch control like throttle lever. I've seen a lot of guys do this and I think they overcomplicate it. This is a really simple concept. Think of it much like a secondary throttle cable that you set for your launch RPM. So you can see here we got a throttle cable. It's got to have a positive stop so that it can pull against it, and that's this. And this is also adjustable here, so you can take the slack out. And then, so it's going to loop down. You're going to have to follow me here. So then I have this bike handle with a screw. This is how we adjust how much RPM we have, right? And then the whole idea is that once you actually mash the pedal, you can override this cable, right? And it'll fold up real easy because it's a loose cable, and then you know, you don't even have to release this until after you launched, and then you let go of it and you shift from first to second, and you don't even have to worry about releasing this right on launch. So you don't even have to worry about that timing sequence. You just have to hold this, lightly have your foot on the pedal, just enough to not bump up the RPM, and then launch straight on that, on the pedal, and then you let go, and then you grab first to second. So this is a really easy concept. I had a few people ask me about it and how I was going to do it, and this literally cost me all of $30. This is not a very complicated setup. I've seen guys use shifter cables, and the shifter cable alone's got to be like 40 bucks or 50 bucks, I think. This is way easier. I went on Amazon, bought a bike brake cable, which came with 2 handles, 2 cables, 2 brake pad caliper setups, whatever you want to fucking call it. And I would fire this up, but I've been throttling it, so it's fucking not going to want to fire up. But I do plan on getting this set up and maybe having somebody help me with the camera to show you guys live how to do this. But I'm going to pause the camera. I'm going to grab a pair of pliers and lock this down and show you guys how easy it's going to be to override that cable. Alright, so you can see I have my lever locked onto this pipe with some C-clamps, so I can show you guys exactly how this is going to work. So let's say right now you're holding the throttle stationary. Say we're going to go to 2,000 RPM. And then you're going to be in the car, and you're going to have your legit throttle cable into your pedal, and guess what? You could still go wide open throttle, not a single issue, nothing absolutely fancy here. $25 and shit, maybe $30. I built the fucking pipe for the floor with scrap. Alright, so moral of the story is, this is sweet and simple, and again, I'm going to show this again just because. Now, the C-clamps are not part of the operation. I must clarify that. These are only on there because I have to hold my phone to show you guys. So when I let go of these, this returns the throttle and it closes up the blades. So right here, we're mimicking being in the car, holding the lever at roughly, let's say my launch RPM needs to be around 2,000 RPM for me and my reactions and everything. So let's call that 2,000 RPM position on that bolt, which is bottoming out on this pipe. And then you can see we're tight there. And let me see if I can turn my flash on for you guys. The throttle blades are open. You can see them right there. They're cracked open. And then, so you're pulled tight, and then I'll release my pliers just to show you. See, throttle went back. Sweet and simple. You didn't have to spend a lot of money for a launch control. A lot of guys are selling these for a lot of money. They're making them super fancy. But all you need is a bike brake handle, a cable for the bike brakes, which is much like a throttle cable, slip through, steel lined, typical stuff that is good. And the added benefit of this is that you do not have to let go of the lever to mash the pedal. You will not bind the pedal up. On that operation, you can let go after you mash the pedal, and then you go from your 1 to 2 shift, whatever it is you do. You can rotate this shifter, so if you do a forward pattern, you can just go forward and then go straight to forward on your shifter, or you can do pull. If you do reverse manual valve body, you can rotate it and pull it, you can adjust it, you can do whatever you want. So this is just a cheap way to do this. I've seen guys do this, and I thought about it, and I'm like, this is stupid simple. There's got to be something cheap that I can buy on Amazon for almost nothing. So yet again, this is a simple approach to something that's overly complicated.